social media and maybe chatting with her or hearing her talk on the phone, but what I'll tell you is this team, and I've seen some teams before, has just this continuity and this connectiveness to it like I've never seen before. And it really speaks to the heart of who Dani is. And she's an amazing leader, and she wants more for most people than they want for themselves. And the interesting thing is that's exactly what we got from this company and the leadership in this company. And Alan Hordell is the same way. Without him, none of us would even be here. And, you know, life is about timing. And I hate to sound cliche, but this is one of the biggest things that I've ever seen. And you guys are at the right place at the right time with the right leaders. So without further ado, Miss Dani Walker.
Thank you, my handsome chauffeur. That is my husband, guys. I don't know if he said his name, but that is Jack. And I probably would not have attended the reveal event if it weren't for him, because he was the driver in the slush, the sleet, the snow, the sun, the ice, all of it. So thank you, honey. Thank you guys, too, for taking the time. I know you had a call last night, and you've been on Facebook watching everything go on while we were at the reveal event, and we have an opportunity call tomorrow, and the pre-launch is on Wednesday morning, and another opportunity call on Thursday. Can you guys feel that we're really going to need this food just to keep us going while we build this opportunity? Ultimately, this is our opportunity. It's just as much mine as it is yours, as it is Peter Castleman's, as it is Kirby Zanger and Gene Tips and David Brown and Jason Domingo and all these fantastic people, Sean and Madison Starr. It's what we put into it. I'm a big believer. It's what we get out of life. And I want to read something to you that showed up under, in the hotel room before I got to see it. My husband posted it on Facebook, and you all knew the name of the company before I did, even though I was at the reveal event. So thank you, Jack, for being there. Plato once said, necessity is the mother of invention. If true, then invention is born of three parents: necessity, curiosity, and activity. Many of the world's greatest creations were obvious, right under our noses all along. Yet somehow we missed them. We were blind, unimaginative, or merely caught up in the status quo of things. In the end, it only takes one. Just one person who recognizes the need, becomes curious as to the possibilities, and then takes action, can change the world. That person is Peter Castleman. As a company builder, Peter provided the spark, but the spark needed fuel to come to life. Early fuel sources were identified as the genius, research and development food creator, the successful CEO, and the direct-to-consumer organization builder. This initial components were required for combustion. Chip Marsland was first in line. Only Chip possessed the unique technical know-how to take Peter's idea from concept to creation. His vast resume in food science and formulation made Chip Marsland the ideal candidate for building the solution. He was the genius R&D food creator. Then came David Brown. The project required a successful CEO capable of organizing all the moving parts of the entity, as well as developing and implementing market strategies. A seasoned strategist and director of resources, both human and material, within the direct sales environment, David was the perfect CEO. As the new entity began to take physical shape in the form of a network marketing company, someone was needed to direct a consumer organization builder. Someone was required to herald the company's message. To carry that torch, Jason Domingo was chosen as the master distributor. Gene Tips, Ben Seaman, Kirby Zanger, and Stuart Cavalleo were then added to the all-important executive ranks of the entity, each bringing their own unique and highly successful brand of network marketing expertise, and the company's picture began to sharpen and come into view. Today, we have other members of the team, with additional family members being added daily. What was once a spark is now a roaring fire. But as complete as we may appear, we're still missing the biggest part of our team, you. It's your turn to transform possibility into reality. 43 essential nutrients is the answer. The question you ask? It is multifaceted, predicated on health, finances, family, friends, love, and life. Welcome to the gateway of possibilities. Welcome to YEVO. That's a pretty powerful message, I think. I don't know who wrote that. It's worthy of being read every single day. because it will remind me of how this whole mission, this whole vision came about. And it will also remind me how humbled and honored I was to even be invited, be able to attend. And I cannot wait until we all get to attend a conference, a meeting, an event together. We get to shake hands. We get to hug each other and celebrate all of us being a part of YEVO, a company that had no name for a very long time because they had a really difficult time choosing a name, finding a name that really represented the core of who we all are and what we represent in changing 100 years of bad food, and being an entrepreneurial company that is about a community. And thus came the name YEVO, which many of you have heard, and those of you who speak Spanish know it's conjugated. It means I lead. That is just the beginning of what YEVO means, of what YEVO represents, of the kind of people and the mindset that are taking this charge on and continuing to keep that bonfire roaring. Initially, we showed up at the reveal event, and I have to tell you, the silliest minor little details make the biggest difference to me. When we showed up, they had our names, very nice, beautiful little name tags that they had created for us. And I thought, oh, dang, I hate these darn things. I don't want to poke a big pin through my silk shirt. And I picked it up, and it was magnetic. And I was like, oh, my gosh, they don't skip a beat. They got everything right already. I was so impressed. And it just continued to impress me more and more as the day went on. And so we got to try the foods. For those of you who don't personally know me, I used to own a restaurant. My mom raised me, single mom, always had a garden, always cooked from scratch. The first time I ever bought a box of macaroni and cheese, I was 18 years old. And so I still love to garden. We can food. We cook from scratch as much as possible. But we also eat frozen pizza every now and then because we're busy people and we have a family, we have kids, and time escapes us, right? We just don't have enough time, like everybody on this line. But coming from that kind of foodie background, I thought there is no way I'm going to like any of this food. And that was my biggest hurdle in really getting behind this vision and this mission, because we whitewater raft, and the boys will take Mountain House meals on those trips, and myself, Mom, will eat a bite and go, it's too salty, I don't like it, it's not my thing. So that was what in my mind I imagined that YEVO foods would be. Well, I'm here to tell you it's not, thank goodness. It's not filled with salt, fat, and sugar, which is pretty much what all processed foods are filled with, especially freeze-dried meals. It has the 43 essential nutrients. In every serving, we get 50% of those 43 essential nutrients that we need every day, the vitamins, the minerals, the macronutrients, the fiber, the protein, the omegas. It's a phenomenal concept that is now becoming a reality, and that's why we're all here. The oatmeal itself, so the offers for breakfast were vitamin coffee, the oatmeal, an apple cinnamon oatmeal, and a breakfast rice. I tried just the regular oatmeal. I just wanted to kind of be the purist and say, okay, I'm not going to add anything to this. I'm just going to see, what does this just taste like? Something that they literally, opened up the bag, poured some boiling water into, and mixed. I was pleasantly surprised. It's not like a whole oatmeal. It's more like a quick oats texture, but the flavor was excellent. It was extremely filling. I think the serving size was maybe 6 ounces, and I thought, oh, I'm going to be hungry in half an hour. But we actually had a break, and they served some pumpkin oatmeal muffins that they had made using their the oatmeal product. And I didn't even have one because I wasn't hungry. And so that really surprised me as well. Now, the coffee itself I do not sweeten my coffee. I'm a 1-cup coffee girl, and I usually just have a little cream in it. So this coffee for me was a little sweet. I think the nutrients just added a natural sweetness to it. So for those of you who like a little sugar in your coffee, I think you're really going to like the coffee. And as the day progressed, it was an opportunity for everybody there. It's about 140 people, very small, intimate group of people, to get to know the heart of this mystery company, because they did not reveal the name to us until 9 o'clock that night, and it started at 9 in the morning. We got to hear from Peter Castleman and his amazing story of how he started out as a kid with dyslexia so badly that he was, failing out of school, and everybody called him stupid because 45 years ago, 50 years ago, nobody really knew or understood what dyslexia was. He got a lacrosse scholarship to Duke University, and the dean walked up to him in school and said, the only reason you're here is because you got a lacrosse scholarship and you won't last a year. And he, that day, dropped his lacrosse scholarship and became a summa cum laude graduate, went on to Harvard to become a Baker Scholar, graduated the top 1% of his class in Harvard, got his PhD, became an economics professor, went on to J.P. Morgan, went on to create his own capital investment company, Whitney Capital, that then has since, purchased companies that they have then taken to over 11 different companies to over $1 billion status. And I'm not talking just $1 billion. I'm talking some of the companies were $16 billion, $20 billion companies that we've all heard of before. Some of us might be wearing North Face clothing right now trying to keep warm as we are in Canada and Washington and Michigan or in Colorado. Those are companies that Peter himself has had personal experience with, taking from and breathing life back into them so that they are $1 billion companies. And he considers this company, YEVO, his 12th and final company and his largest success in his life. Just an amazing man, an amazing story. He's the kind of guy who he still has something to prove in the world. He's in love with the network marketing industry and realizes it is the only way to really change the world. And he wants to do that one meal at a time, person to person. Help people rethink 100 years of bad food. So we have a huge charge, a huge mission. We're taking on some really huge big pharma, big food companies that are not going to like us. They're not going to be happy with us. But it's time for us to take a stand, because we all know on some level, we've all realized that we are not getting the nutrition we need. I think we can all agree with that. Doesn't matter where we live in the world, we know. And in the U.S., we all know we're the most overfed, malnourished country on the planet. We spend more money on health care than any other country in the world. We are over-medicated and undereducated on what our food is doing to us. 60 years ago, we called it malnutrition. Today, we call it chronic disease. 70% of the population has at least one chronic disease in the United States. 70% has one chronic disease. That is ridiculous. This is a mission to take those 43 essential nutrients and put them back into our daily diet. And guys, it's not freeze-dried food. So like me, I challenge you to think outside of that package that you pour water in and then stir and eat, because that is not YEVO. YEVO is a company that wants to take this food into every household in the world and say, create a wonderful meal out of these ingredients. Add the oatmeal to your oatmeal cookie recipe. Add the marinara sauce to a Bloody Mary. They served Bloody Marys that they used their marinara sauce for. They were amazing. They made a mojito that was a coconut ginger mojito with their vanilla shake product. It's dangerous, I'll just say that. It was so good. I got to try a peanut satay that was excellent. They made a really great Asian pasta peanut satay salad that was phenomenal. The potato chive product by itself, I couldn't believe it. I literally asked Julie twice, this is just the potato chive YEVO product with some water? I couldn't believe it. The macaroni and cheese, I will be honest, it was my least favorite, but it's a base to work on. We could add some garlic and some spike and some different spices and things. What else did we try? Alfredo sauce, really great. They did some sauteed veggies. We put the Alfredo sauce on it. Oh, red beans and rice, which was really good by itself. And guys, by the time we got around, what they did was they had us walk through the Culinary Institute, got a little cocktail hour, we mingled, we got to know each other, and then we went into the Culinary Institute. They had 5 different stations. They cooked each 5 different YEVO foods just by themselves, just mixing the water and stirring. And then they made them like I would make them at home for the kids, you know, a potato soup or a Alfredo and noodles, things like that. And then they also made like a tapas appetizer kind of finger food. So we got to try kind of 3 different ways to prepare them. And the red beans and rice was really good by itself. And then they did like a little tapas taco with some chicken and some tomatillo sauce. It was fantastic. And then one of Amy walked through and she goes, oh, save them for dessert because they have a chocolate dessert in there that's amazing. And I'm a sucker for chocolate. I mean, as soon as she said that, I was like, oh, I'm not finishing this taco. So the desserts were a coconut lemongrass rice pudding. I did not try that, but everybody who did loved it. A chocolate panna cotta tartlet, which is what I had, and it was amazing. Then they had a spice apple crisp with cherries and Grand Marnier. Didn't try that one either. Ultimately, we got to have a little tasting, got to have a little experience. How many people love to have dinner parties? How many of us love to just like eat a meal together? How do you get to know people? You eat with them. You invite them over for dinner. You have a barbecue. It's just natural for us to do that. It creates a really tight bond. And so this is our opportunity to change the masses, change everybody's health by just sharing a meal with them. I mean, it's so great. I was talking to Emma today, and I said, you know, gosh, think about it like this. You can invite a girlfriend to Starbucks for a Starbucks coffee, which, you know, whatever, maybe you do, maybe you don't. Bring a little packet of your oatmeal and say, hey, let's have breakfast together. We'll meet in the middle. We'll meet at Starbucks. We'll have coffee, and I'll bring breakfast. Ask Starbucks for a cup of hot water, and there. You're having coffee and oatmeal together. You're sharing a meal together. You're talking about food. Ask anybody what they think about food and if they're getting the nutrition they need out of their diet. Most people are going to say, heck no, I know I'm not. I know I don't eat well enough, and it's been a dilemma for me. It's something I know I need to change, but I just haven't done it yet. Well, this is an opportunity for you to say, you know, really, this is so cool. There's actually a food company. Have you ever heard of YEVO? You don't have to change. You don't have to give up all the bad stuff. So it's far, I hope that I'm sharing the vision a little bit better, because it's not just freeze-dried. It's not just being prepared or having your food storage. It's not just the kids at college that are eating macaroni and cheese in a plastic microwave dish. It freaks me out. It's not, you know, just for the 12-year-old who comes home after school starving and while mom and dad are still at work needs something healthy to snack on. It's not just for the outdoorsman who loves to raft and hunt and backpack. And it's not just for third world countries. It's not just for hurricanes and natural disasters. It's for all of these things. It's for each and every one of us, and to help us really live a healthy life full of vitality for a very long time. And so that was where Chip Marsland came in, and he has 30 years of experience in science and nutrition, sports nutrition. He has 50 to 100 different patents and discoveries that he is known for around the world. He's worked extensively with food companies around the world, from here to Australia. He's was the formulator and creator of all of Barry Sears' products, helped him open over 150 different restaurants with his own diet. Diabetes, weight loss, sports nutrition, and proteins were his main thing until his mother was diagnosed with a neurological disorder that ended up being fatal. It was extremely rare, but at the same time when she was diagnosed, the doctors let Chip know that he had a 50% chance of ending up with this disease as well as he aged, because we are our mothers genetically. And so it was the crossroads in his life. It's the whole reason why him and Peter ended up meeting and YEVO was formed, because he delved into the neurology and more of the biology and out of the proteins and into essential nutrients. But YEVO takes both proteins and essential nutrients and puts them together, because we do need protein. I mean, it's part of our biological makeup. So, and then we got to hear from David Brown, who many of you probably know on this line, and I now understand why all of you love the man. He's amazing. He speaks from his heart. He's very sincere. He's very precise and to point. He's very open with his love for the field and supporting distributors, and his mission to really take 24/7 and make sure that we have the tools that we need, the resources that we need to be successful, and that we don't have to be the ones creating them ourselves, which was a breath of fresh air for me and probably is for many of you. And then we heard from Kirby Zanger, who talked about the international expansion, and I loved his analogy of don't rush the recipe. He talked about how we're taking on 4 of the top 10 countries in network marketing within 18 months of launch. That's a huge, huge chunk to chew on. It takes a lot of financial resources, a lot of personal time and resources, and the right team, and they have put all the right people in place, from Stuart and Cooney, who are going to be managing all of Asia. Kirby Zanger's at the helm of all international expansion. He's making sure everything's set in place correctly so that when we do launch the U.S. and Mexico, that everything is there. All the resources we need are there. Products are going to ship when they need to ship. Checks are going to get cut when they need to get cut. All the payment, merchandising, merchant services, all the banking, everything is a well-oiled machine. And as many of you know, if you were on the call last night, when we do launch in Korea, when we do launch in Japan, those countries will have marketing from marketing firms in those countries. They will have the warehousing. They will have the office in those countries. It will be open and not NFR, not for resale. No country we ever open or launch will be not for resale. It will be legit from day one. So they're putting all that in place. Like, then we go off to dinner, right? We still don't know the name of the company. And got to taste the food. Had the pleasure of meeting Ben Seaman and touring around with his group and kind of picking his brain. It seems like the potato chive is his favorite, as well as Peter Castleman shared, oh yeah, that's my favorite and my mom's favorite. And so that's a winner. Just got to hear from Chip some more on a lot of science that was way over my head. Believe me, 30 years in protein and nutrition is like, oh my goodness. So, but the manufacturing facility is 95,000 square feet. It's in Reno, Nevada. Chip, the whole team is setting it up for us, for the distributors. So we will be able to come in, we will be able to sit down at the restaurant and eat the meals together. We will be able to go to the tasting room and taste a little bit of everything. We will be able to go into the store and buy the product right there. We will be able to tour the manufacturing facility. The second story, right now they're building conference rooms and meeting rooms and party event rooms for us to meet in. That one wall is all windows so that we get to look out over the manufacturing facility and watch this all come to play. Okay, so it's just so exciting. I'm trying to hit the high points. The comp plan. I'm not going to really go through it a whole lot because you can listen to the recorded call and they'll talk about it more tomorrow as well. But the starter packs I will go over a little bit. So the starter packs are going to be like a $50 starter kit. And this is during pre-launch. So there will be more options after we do officially launch. But just for now, during pre-launch, it's a $50 starter kit. There's a $224 silver pack. There's a $480 gold pack. There's a $540 platinum pack. And, of course, each one of them just includes more product, really, and some premium back office and mobile app stuff. So that will be more clear on Wednesday when you go to enroll. It'll all be spelled out for you for more product information, more compensation plan information, and some absolutely marvelous videos that are not hypey, they're not slick, they're real. They get to the heart of the issue. They explain the problem and give us a solution. And every single person on the planet will identify in some way, shape, or form because it's food. And we all eat it. Every single day it sustains us. I mean, they talked about a 5-city tour between now and the official launch. And Jason said that it just depends on how many distributors we have in an area will depend on which city we go to. So the more distributors we have in Enterprise, Oregon, For those of you who don't know, it's a town of 2,000 people with no stoplights. Probably not going to do on the tour, but the more distributors you have in your general location, the more likely they are to pick that city as one of the 5. There will be the support for us all to really make this successful. And it's not for each one of our individual gain. It's really for everybody's gain. And so whether it be a customer who just is a stay-at-home mom struggling with getting her kids to eat nutritious food, and she just wants a solution, or it be somebody with 40 years of networking experience who knows everybody on the planet, like Alan Hordell, who wants to rock this thing like nothing else. There's a place for every person. And so I've been in the industry and in and out of the industry for 20 years now. How I got to the top of the last company I built and became the International Distributor of the Year was not because I was such a fantastic leader. It was because I had a fantastic team of people and extremely loyal customers. And I had a lot of customers. I did not go out there and target every network marketer on the planet. I believed in the product, and I shared the vision and the mission. And because of that, lots of people followed. And it was easy to do because Jack had some amazing results. But I share that with you because lots of people have asked, do I have to have 3 people on Wednesday before I sign up? Absolutely not. You do not have to have 1 person on Wednesday when you join this mission. You could be the mom who wants to just share the product because you know it's going to help people and build only a customer base and make a fantastic impact. Now, obviously, if you want to, you can do both. And the compensation plan allows for both. It allows for massive teams and wonderful income like I've never seen before. It's 1-to-1. I spend $100 on the groceries, on the food. You're going to get paid $100 commission on that $100. They've just been extremely generous. They've taken out all the bugs. Again, just like that silly little magnet, Dani Walker magnet, that I didn't have to poke the pin into my shirt, they haven't missed a step with the marketing, the comp plan, or anything else either. This is something that Peter is a very professional man. He knows what he's doing. There is absolutely no arguing it whatsoever. And this is his baby. This is what he believes. He spent the last 30 years of his career learning, being challenged, growing, helping people so he could create YEVO. So I want to thank each and every one of you. I'm going to introduce Alan now. Jack's absolutely right. I would not be here today if Alan didn't send me 5 emails from Madison Starr, our Fearless Leader founding member, about 5 weeks ago. And that is all he had to do was say, because we're friends and I love him dearly, hey, Dani, have you heard about the new food company? I went, oh, my goodness, another network marketing company to check out. Oh, my goodness, I don't even know if I want to. Well, just listen. I'm going to send you 5 emails. I can't really tell you a lot about it. I'm just going to send you 5 emails. Just read through them and get back to me. That is all he did. That is all he had to do. Give me the invite, plant the seed, and the rest is history. So, Alan, thank you for planting this.
Hey, Dani, thank you so much. And as you guys can tell, it's just a dear pleasure to have such a dear friend and a business partner as Dani Walker. And can you hear me okay, Dani?
Perfectly.
Thank you. Well, I was sitting back listening to Dani talk for the last 25 minutes, and now you know why I would phone Dani Walker and partner up with Dani Walker as a partner to build this business. To be quite frank with you, Dani and I have actually, in the last, I'd say 18 months, have actually looked at several companies, and they were just not right. Something wasn't right. It just wasn't there. This was wrong or that was wrong. Compensation plan, product, owners, whatever it might be, it just didn't fit. And when I got a call from Madison and them, and we talked about this company, I had the same visions as anybody else, and I had a lot of the wrong visions. I've been very, very fortunate to be in this industry since 1978. Let me tell you one thing, folks. In 1983, I did not pass up, like some people pass up. I did not pass up a what I call a lifetime of network marketing with an amazing company in their launch, their pre-launch. That company is still in existence today, doing billions and billions of dollars a year. I went and worked that company from 1983 to 1989, did very, very well. But not only did I do very well, I really learned the essence of building a strong team with strong leadership and strong tools. When I took a look at this company, I took a look at the leadership. I investigated the leadership. I looked at Peter Castleman and what he's done. I looked at David Brown, who I knew of, some friends of mine for the last 5 years in the company that he was in, as well as Jason Dominga, the master distributor in this company. But then I also had a phone call about 5 weeks ago. And on that phone call, I had the opportunity to speak to the person that was actually implementing the marketing plan. I've had the opportunity in the last 25 years of actually building compensation plans, doing compensation plans for companies, and looking at compensation plans and how they work in companies. And from one thing I've always learned in the last several years is that you have to build a compensation plan for the distributor, not for the company, for the distributor. And I can honestly tell you, each and every one of you, that they took away from that meeting that morning, that hour meeting, a lot of things that we discussed, and they've implemented, whether it was my decisions or somebody else's decisions or not decisions, but offering our interpretation, what I think of a good compensation plan they've developed. So when you go to see this compensation plan, number one, you're going to see low entries. You're going to see dollar for dollar. I'm telling you, folks, BV, PV, all that kind of stuff, and where you have $100, you're paying $100 a month, and you're only getting 70 PV. I've seen this in just about every company's out there, not in this company. Like Danny said, dollar for dollar. When you buy $1 worth of product from this company, you're going to get paid on $1's commission. That's the first thing. The second thing is the low reentry. You can come in for as little as around $50. And work your way through the compensation plan. The other thing, as I looked at, is and we talked about several weeks ago, was, you know what? There's a lot of people out there that just can't sponsor a lot of people. So they've made the qualifications very, very easy as far as I'm concerned. I think they're one of the easiest I've ever seen, where you can get paid all the way up 7 levels deep with only having 3 active distributors. And I'm not going to go into the compensation plan tonight, but I just want to highlight this. That and the other thing that we said on the meeting, that the unit level had to be based on at least, 6 to 7 levels. What did they do? They made it 7 levels. That in itself. And you look at the name YEVO. I thought of that name when I saw it on Sunday night. And I looked at that. And I really didn't know what it meant. But it means, in Spanish, I lead. I lead. And it just really hit home to me, I lead. And if each one of you folks out there think about that very carefully, I lead. And now think about this very carefully, that they're going to have each and every person that goes in and signs up on Wednesday and gets positioned with this incredible team. You can see this call is absolutely packed out tonight. This is just our team that you've put together, that Danny's put together, that Robert's put together, that Greg has put together. We have some incredible leaders on this team with literally 20, 30, 40 years of experience, million-dollar earners in this team that's going to lead each and every one of you. And we are going to work tirelessly, absolutely tirelessly. We're going to travel, not only in the United States, we're going to travel to other countries. We're already planning a trip to Mexico, then over to Japan, and down to Korea, into Asia. We're going to put our boots on the ground. So start looking for your people in those areas, because we're going to put our boots on the ground in those countries to build this team. Folks, I'm going to tell it, and this might seem a little bit harsh to some people, but it's the honest to God. If you are in the nutrition business today, like I have been since 1978, it's roughly about a $7 billion industry. That's a lot of money, $7 billion industry. But you've got about 3,000 companies competing in an industry of $7 billion. A lot of people are doing it very, very well and making a lot of money. But there is so many struggling. We're not talking about a $7 billion industry, folks. Get that out of your head right now. We're talking about a $13 trillion industry. Trillion. Not billion, trillion. We've just taken network marketing to an arena that has never been before. It is amazing when you see a company like I helped launch in 1983 do $3 to $4 to $5 billion a year. Do you know what Peter Castleman said? If he does $2 billion a year out of the gate, he's going to be very disappointed. He's talking $20 billion out of the very short period of time. What does that mean to each and every one of you and me? Well, it means that the opportunity here is like never been seen before. I have never seen an opportunity, and you might have heard this before, but this is the honest to God truth. I have never seen an opportunity with this management team that's put together and I know who this management team, I know the companies that they were with. I know what they did in those companies. I also want to tell you that I've seen a lot of compensation plans. This is the most fairest compensation plan that I think that I've ever seen. And it's going to pay not only the big fellows that you see in every network marketing company, but it's going to pay the mom and pop operations, the Susie homemaker, the moms and pops that want to stay home and build a second income. And that is going to be quite extraordinary. You're going to see checks in in the first part of this company that is absolutely going to set records. You're going to see this company set records in their very first 1, 2, 3 months that they open their doors in February, March, April. You're going to see records set in the network marketing industry. Mark my words on that. Why is that? Because we're going into a marketplace that's never been seen in network marketing before. And I know just from talking to Madison, just from talking to Dani and them sampling the foods, I can hardly wait. I actually can hardly wait. I had coronary bypass surgery 17 months ago. I had 5 bypasses done at the age of 57. I know what it's like now to start buying, and I literally cannot buy the foods that I require now for my body to stay healthy for the rest of my life. There's one other thing I want to tell each and every one of you that you've never had in network marketing before. And that is you have a window of opportunity of 2.5 months. We are now sitting, I believe it's the 17th of November today. On Wednesday morning, 8 a.m. Pacific Coast time, the websites are going to get turned on. You're going to be able to go in. Wait for it. This is not a fast thing to get done. Wait for your link to come to you. This is a unilevel. This isn't a matrix, not first come in, first served, or anything like that. So take your time, and your links will come to you from your sponsor. Wait in line, get your link, go in, sign up, pick your pack, put in your credit card information, and there you go. You will not be charged until February. Until they start shipping the product, you will not be charged. But what you're also going to see by doing this is you're going to see your team build. You're going to see your signups come in. You're going to see what they're ordering, and you're going to see your volume growing for the next 2.5 months. I have never in my life seen a company go into pre-launch 2.5 months, and think about this very carefully. Your credit card is not going to be charged. You're not going to be billed until they start shipping the product. You have 2.5 months to go out, find, sponsor, and launch. People don't join our company. People aren't joining our team. People are launching with our team. We're going to launch this business. You're not going to join us. You're not going to sign up with us. You're going to launch with us. You're going to bring people to these calls, to the corporate calls, to the trainings. We're going to have all that. So you got 2.5 months to go out and build your business. I'll think about this very carefully. I know what package I'm coming in at. I'm coming in at the highest package that I can buy because I want the product. I want to let my family, my 6 brothers and sisters, try the product. So I'm coming in at the highest level. Because you know why? I got 2.5 months to build my business, and by the time my business is built after 2.5 months, That package isn't going to cost me anything. And even if it did, I still got another 45 days by the time I get my credit card before the interest comes on. So I've got 4 months to build my business before I even have to pay for my product. I've never seen that before in any company. Usually you go into a company, what do? Want you to sell you $1,000, you've got to pay $1,000 right now. A week later the product comes, you haven't sponsored one single person. Not here, folks. Not here. And we're not talking that $7 billion industry in the potions and lotions. We're talking about trillion-dollar business in the food industry, something that every single person needs. I live in the heart of GMO. I live in Saskatchewan, Canada. The crops around me are GMO. I know what's being put in our foods, and I can hardly wait to change both myself and my lovely, lovely better half, Leanne, our diets with these products. In fact, she's a great cook. She's a certified cook. She's a Red Seal cook. She can hardly wait to start using these products in our household, and because we try to eat as healthy as we can right now, but it's very, very difficult. One last thing before I leave and turn it back to Dani is this. You know, Dani was talking about Wednesday. We go in, we'll get our links, we'll go in, then you'll give your links to your people. Dani was talking about don't be anxious about, going in, but I will say one thing. This is an opportunity you do not want to pass up. This is an opportunity that you want to be the town crier. You know, the guy that stands on the corner and yells out, "Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. YEVO is here. I lead." What does that mean? You lead. I lead. And when you lead, you are going to be incredibly, incredibly successful with this company. So why not go out and get those 3 frontline people? Hey, guys and girls, that's exactly what I'm doing. I've got my 3 frontline people in line right now. They're ready to go. And they've got their 3 people ready to go. And those people got those 3 people ready to go, because that's how we're going to teach duplication. And by the way, what's really unique about this compensation plan, and I'll finish with this, is that you're going to be able to do placements. Yeah, that's right, folks. You're going to be able to do placements into your team. I'm going to be able to take people and place them into my organization. Do you know where I'm going to place those people? I'm going to place those with the workers. I'm going to look at my downline saying, Bob's doing an amazing job. I've got somebody to come into the business right now. I'm going to put him with Bob because I know that Bob's going to give him the support. I know Bob's going to go and work with that person. So the harder you work, the faster and better you lead. That is where we're going to build our teams. We're not going to play around. This is not a come in, hopefully you make money. That's not the way network marketing builds. Let me tell you, from 37 years ago, I've worked day in and day out to build my network marketing teams and my organizations over those 37 years. And let me tell you something, it's not going to change here. I know Dani Walker's work ethics. That's why I sent her over to Utah, because I know she was the lady that had to be in Utah. Not me. She was the person that had to be in Utah. And that is how we are going to lead. And leaders make leaders and build leaders. And each and every one of you that are on the call tonight, you've never been in this situation before. I have never been in this situation before, so I don't know how you could never been in this situation before, because we have something here that's very, very unique. So with that, in the next, we got tomorrow and into Wednesday morning, I strongly suggest there's a corporate call tomorrow night. I suggest that you get on the phones tomorrow and you phone every single person that you know. Get on Facebook, get on social media, and invite every single person you know. Send the video that's out there already. Take them to the Team Vision room on Facebook. They're going to get the support there. Pretty soon we're going to be combining that room with many hundreds and hundreds of more people that are coming from Madison's group, and we're going to be a complete team from Madison and Sean right down through the organization. I've got a great surprise for each and every one of you people that come on our team. I've got a tremendous surprise coming in the next week or two once we get the enrollments done. I won't tell you what it is tonight, but it is a great surprise for this whole team. So, Dani, I'm so proud to be working with you. And to Jack, your husband, well, we're cut from the same cloth. and we'll go into that another day. So, Dani, I'm going to turn it back to you. God bless you all, and I sure look forward. And by the way, my phones are open 24 hours, 7 days a week, and I don't mind waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning to do a three-way call. I wrote a little book in 1987 called The Art of Three-Way Calling, and oh my God, it's the best thing I ever did. God bless you all. Back to you, Dani.
Thanks, Alan. Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye, right? YEVO is here. All I could say is Wendell Berry put it best. We're fed by the food industry, which pays no attention to health. We're treated by the health industry, which pays no attention to food. And that industry has reached its apex because YEVO is going to take that and turn it on its ear. And everybody is going to know exactly what YEVO is. Just like 30 years ago, we didn't know what Nike was, and we were all walking around saying Nike. How do you pronounce it? I don't know what the heck that is. Not anymore, guys. YEVO is here. We're here to put the name, the brand, the mission, the vision in every household around the world. So thank you for being on the call. And